The President of the United States of America has a profound amount of power that comes with that microphone and the bully pulpit. And we can no longer afford to have a President of the United States who uses that position with the intent to divide, with the intent to sow hate and division, with the intent to belittle and to beat down.
Pretty impressive, don't you think? Welcome back to Harvard. That was, of course, 2020 presidential candidate Senator Kamala Harris of California speaking in Michigan earlier this week. Senator Harris has dramatically stepped up her attacks on Trump just in the last week. The New York Times reports on her new strategy, writing two recent events. Ms. Harris's insistent questioning of Attorney General Barr at the Senate Judiciary Committee hearing last week, and Joe Biden's multi-day spat with Mr. Trump have been clarifying moments for Ms. Harris and her aides, demonstrating the value of elevating her voice of opposition to the president and seeking direct confrontation with the White House. Her campaign is also drawing on internal polling of early nominating states showing that Democratic primary voters are consumed with beating Trump. I'm joined by Jason Johnson, politics editor at TheRoot.com, and Susan Del Percio, Republican strategist. Susan, I want to start with you. It seems to me a couple rules are at play here. One, always shoot up in politics. I don't like the ballistic reference, but you never shoot down. If you got a target like the president, you go after him. You don't go after somebody ranking 1% in the polls now. Why not do what she's doing? Take on Trump. Biden's doing it, and it's working.
And that clip that you showed leading into this segment, Chris, was perfect. She's spot on. She's got the right temperament right now. And it does follow her questioning of Barr last week, Attorney General Barr. And I think she may have found her lane for now. But it's still very early. I think she has put herself in a front runner standing. So she just has to keep up her method of introducing proposals and attacking the president when you see it, when it's necessary, which unfortunately for us, it's practically every day. But she has a good strategy. I don't think she needs a reset. And I think what we're really going to see her shine is during the debates on this network later next month.
When I first started in politics, I learned a trick, which is if you want to run for Congress, start talking to the press like you are a congressperson.
Right. Talk
about local issues. There's a pipeline disaster or something. Talk about it as if you're in office now. Talk like you're running against Trump.
Exactly.
It's so smart. Don't act like you're one of the little kids at a little kids table and there's 30 of you.
Yeah. Well, she's doing the same thing as Joe Biden. It's like, look, the rest of these people, they're trying to be my VP. I'm going head to head with the guy.
Well, she knows she's got VP in her pocket.
Exactly.
That's what I think.
But she's aiming properly. And here's what, look, we know that there's sexism in voters and different kinds of things. But Kamala Harris has also tapped into something that we haven't seen. She is a woman who can actively attack men in the public sphere, and people root for her.
Why isn't Trump shooting back?
Because she's a black woman. He's terrified.
How so? Okay, unpack that.
Because when he's talking, he'll go after Oprah Winfrey, right? Because she's a celebrity. He'll go after Maxine
Someone
Waters.
her size.
Exactly. She's got some scandals. But if you look at Michelle Obama, Susan Rice, the one kryptonite that Donald Trump has faced is black women. He would never go after Stacey Abrams because he knows that is a constituency that will be his doom in 2020.
You think?
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Susan, what's your response to that? Just the identity politics part of this. African-American women, I'm being told all the time, in the Democratic fight, will be dominant in their importance because they will look for somebody, perhaps like themselves, from the same group, who are African-American women, or they'll pick somebody they're damn sure they want to beat Trump with. I mean, they'll be strategic like everybody else, maybe more so. Why is it that there's a fear that clearly he went after all the Bs the other day, Trump? He had all the Bs. He went Biden, Bernie, Beto, Buttigieg, and he skipped her. He skipped this time, Elizabeth. What's he up to?
That's a great point. I mean, he skipped her this time. But if you remember, he was also very taken back with her announcement. He mentioned what a great, how big the crowds were for her and how well she did.
Yeah.
So that was an indication that he respects her. And as we know, with women he respects, like Nancy Pelosi, even if he disagrees with them, he's not apt to go after them the same way. And plus, I think it would be a disaster because all he does is know how to demean, and I think it would come off just horribly if he went after any woman at this point.
Someday we got to figure out him and Tiger Woods. That speech the other day, giving him the Medal of Honor, freedom, was the most astounding memory I've ever seen. He knows every aspect, every hole of that guy's career, and it was true, majestic devotion to the guy. He really looks up to that guy because he's trying to play golf, and this is the best guy in the world.
Oh, too bad he doesn't
Anyways,
feel that way about our country, Chris.
Well, you make an interesting point. I'm just trying to say something particular. You're so grand. Anyway, as I just mentioned, President Trump mocked several of his potential 2020 rivals at a rally in Panama City, Florida. It's it's the redneck Riviera, isn't it? Down there. Anyway, let's watch. Last night.
A young man, boot edge. Boot edge. They say edge. He's got a great chance. He'll be great. He'll be great. Representing us against President Xi of China. That'll be great. That'll be great. I want to be in that room. I want to watch that one. And Beto. Boy, is he falling like a rock. What the hell happened to Beto? He got some real beauties. Crazy Bernie. You got a choice between Sleepy Joe and Crazy Bernie. And I'll take any. Let's just pick somebody, please, and let's start this thing.
Panama City, Florida, there he was. Big crowd last night. What do you think? What's he playing the bees for?
It's weak sauce. Well, again, it's the white guys because he thinks he's going to face a white guy next year. And like I said, I think he's afraid of facing someone like Harris. Not that he doesn't think he can beat her, but I think he would take a lot of damage in attacking her the way he would some of these other people. And let's be honest. This is a president who has no message discipline. This is a president who has no attention span. So the top 4 or 5 people are going to be the people he pays attention to. He's going to say something offensive about Bernie. He's going to say something offensive. He will probably make a homophobic slur at some point about Buttigieg. I would not doubt it coming out of this president.
You think he's already doing that?
I'm sure he is dancing right next to it. And he'll be there as soon as we're at the first debate. This president has no discipline and no couth.
Susan, what do you think about his strategy? I think Trump is thinking ahead. He wants the election now because he thinks he can win right now. The economy's pretty good right now. He did say yesterday, let's do it now. Bring him on. I think he wants a vote now. He's not going to get it. He gets a vote in a year and a half. But what?
You're absolutely right, Chris. And the thing about going after Beto, let's not forget, earlier this week we saw a lot of polls come out that had Beto beating Trump by double digits. So that irks the president. That's the way the president works. Someone gets under his skin and he will keep going and going and going. And I agree. I think that he will continue to demean his opponents as long as he can get away with it. And that will basically be what we'll see for the next 18 months.
I think part of him is loving this list. He thinks he can beat every one of them, but maybe he probably thinks he can't have an easy time with Joe Biden. Plus, with the states he won last time, he may not get him again. Thank you, Jason Johnson. You're smiling. I like when you agree with me. Susan Del Percio. And if you were here, I'd like to know if you agree with me. Up next, a sign from the